Hi, my name is Barry Crampton. Today I'm going to show you around our Volkswagen Golf convertible. Then I'll take you for a ride in it, but first I'll tell you a little bit more about it. It's a Volkswagen Golf 2-litre TDI BlueMotion Tech SE, and of course it's a cabriolet with the electric hood. It's 2013 on a 63 plate, has done 60,133 miles. Fuel economy: urban 54.3 miles per gallon, extra urban 68.9 miles per gallon, and combined is 64.2 miles per gallon. A 0 to 60 time of 9.9 seconds, a top speed of 128 miles per hour out of a 138 brake horsepower 16 valve engine. This vehicle is MOT'd until the 29th of the 9th 2020, but of course we'll get it at 12 months MOT as well, and 12 months road tax is only £30, so a real economical vehicle. It's a really nice car. It's got full service history. It's finished in white with grey cloth and a blue soft top. On the front here we've got the parking sensors, multi-spoke alloys, chrome window and body separator, the electric boot release. If I'm honest, you're not going to get a whole lot in there, although I've got two big camera bags and tripod and so on, so packed correctly it won't be too bad. Reversing sensors in the rear bumper. I'm going to attempt to sit in the back, but I'll put the seat forward. It's easy enough to get in and out, obviously when the hood's down, but I'm not so sure. I'll try it when I put the hood up after. You've just got to knock the headrest up, and then it's quite comfortable. It's only a four-seater, bucket seats, split rear seats, so you load through from the back there. In the back, we've also got, which looks like it's never been used, a kind of wind deflector which will mount up here, keep the breeze off the back of your neck, and it's really nice. To be fair, it doesn't look like it's been sat in the back. It's kind of charcoal centre bolsters and then grey pattern cloth. VW, I don't think they ever go to town really making fancy interiors, but it's always functional, always nice. We've got carpet mats in the back there that look like they've been in there from new. That's a cab. That's where last year was. I'll just take you for a ride. You can see there, we've got two keys. I'll just put the hood up. Okay, service history. I think it's going to be one of those days today when I never stop moaning. It's a beautiful day, but stuff like this really winds me up. More than I can tell you, the stuff I've seen over the years. But here we go. 7th of 7th 2015, 12,835, serviced at Lancaster Volkswagen. Then 5th of the 6th 2017 at 32,815, again Lancaster Volkswagen. Can't tell who what that squiggle says. But then the bit that really is unbelievably annoying, you see there's Tipex. Now I hate the dates Tipex and also the mileage is Tipexed. the car was serviced. When we came to check it, doing our due diligence as proper motor traders do, we were checking the service history. The first thing we noticed is that it said it was serviced at 63,000 miles and there's only 60,000 on the clock, so even the most stupid motor trader would perhaps pick on that. However, so we phoned the dealer up that serviced it. Again, it was Lancaster Volkswagen, and it turns out it wasn't 63,273, it was 53,273. It is recorded. So we've Tipex that out and put it in. But also, this car had a cam belt and a water pump done on that date. Now that makes a huge difference to resale value. And if you take your car in for service and you go out to your service book and your service book's not been stamped, or they've not put it on the digital service history, or they've not got the mileage or the date right or whatever, then you should go back in, ask for your money back, because basically they've just devalued your car. You've no proof it's been serviced. You've completely, although your car might run a little bit better and last a bit longer, when you come to part exchange it, people like me will look through the service book. And also, the other thing is the amount of money you waste by the previous owner not having any record that the cam belt was done. When they come to part exchange it, if we had to do the cam belt and water pump, that'd be 400 or 500 quid, which we'd have to allow in the deal. It just makes no sense to me for anybody to get the car serviced and not have a proper book, which is proof, and also the invoices to back them up, because we don't just go off the book. In my day, see these things now, the pages are stuck in. In my day, they were stapled, so you always find somebody, you know, trying to get around the system. So what they used to do, they used to come for a test drive in your car, look round. If there's a service book in, they'd pinch it, and you see this bit at the front there, that tells you all about the car. So again, it was the same in the old days. That'd tell you all about the car. So all they did then was undo the staples on the service book they'd nicked off you, and then put those pages in, and lo and behold, all of a sudden their car would have a full service history. Of course, then you got the other guys who'd have the service stamps made, and then just stamp the book up. But you know, as I say, there's no getting around that. Which is, you can buy these stamps on eBay now for about 20 quid, which is why we always phone the dealers and just make sure. Sometimes we don't go through every one, but we go through a good percentage just to make sure that whatever I say on this video is correct. So I'll leave the hood down for this. It's absolutely boiling today. I can't promise the audio will be fantastic, but I'll do my best. And these cars in, when would it be, 1991, I used to work for a Volkswagen garage, and Golf convertibles are the best seller, but the best selling at the time, Golf diesels and Golf convertibles. You just couldn't get enough of them. And it was quite funny because three salesmen, and of course you're all watching what other people's got coming in. I used to always have an opportunities to do business book, where I'd take a note of the any customers who'd rung up and said, have you got a Golf convertible? And I'd have pages. So then I'd try and pre-sell the cars that I was taking in part exchange. I always thought I could value cars better and more accurately. Well, I could. There's no doubt about it. I could value them better than other people. In my time, I've done just about everything in the motor trade. I used to paint my own cars and everything, so I can recognise paintwork. And you get the other lads who'd got no idea. They were just there because they needed to get out of the house from 9, well, probably 8 till 7, 7 days a week in those days. And they did absolutely no idea how to value cars or describe them. So I always used to, when I was working for somebody else, I always used to prefer to sell my own swappers. And when anybody came in with a Golf convertible, it was really funny, because as soon as you'd finished dealing with them, the other sales guys would come over and say, what's that Golf convertible? To which I used to reply, oh no, it's not coming in. He's going to sell it himself. He just wanted an idea of price. Of course, what I was actually doing then was I'd get me opportunities to do business book, hit the telephones and pre-sell it before it come in, get a deposit before it actually come in, so nobody else would get a chance to sell it. And it's the same these days with Golf convertibles. Sorry, that's just flapping there. Put that away. So lovely car, as you can see. Most popular colour scheme. A bit further away. 6-speed box. Really economical, and we've got Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth audio streaming. It's not immediately apparent and quite difficult to pair and delete a mobile if you don't know what you're doing. I'll show you how to do that later. I don't think I'll be able to put the roof up because the windows go all the way down, in which case I'll have to take my cameras off. So I'll not go all the way up the motorway today, I don't think. Or perhaps I will. We'll see what the sound's like anyway. As I said before, in the boot there's a canvas bag with a wind deflector in. Keep the draft off the back of your neck. Oh dear, I mean, John 43W in his Infinity has got nowhere to go and all day to get there. Just check the door mirrors. It's a bit disconcerting seeing a lorry pointing at you. It was another one loaded up with cabs. So all that's good. CD radio. You've got your volume controls here. Let's just say, hey Siri, play music. So there we go. Well, that got you a long way, didn't it? Because we're virtually out of lockdown now, and I'm sure the first thing we should have done is make sure everybody took another driving test as soon as they come out of lockdown. I mean, they're just looking to have a crash there, look. The guy that just overtook me wouldn't just moderate his speed, so the other car came in front of him, and the other car in the inside lane didn't have the brains to move over into the centre lane to let the guy come out. So they'd both rather have an accident than give way. 70 miles an hour there, in 6th gear, 1750 revs. Says queue ahead. Normally on a day like this, if it was a Friday, there is no way I'd come on this stretch of motorway, because everybody would be queuing to go to the Lake District, and it can take you an hour to get from that junction to the next one. We've got height and reach adjustable steering wheel, front centre armrest here, and in there that looks like is an iPod connector. I'm sure you'll be able to get a connector to Excellent. We'll let the big lorry guy pull out, and I'll pull in and try not to get caught in the crossfire here. And cars coming out there across the solid line, eager to get into traffic earlier than they need to. Gosh, that's one ugly car. In fact, I'd even go as far as to say it's hideous. We also Golfs, they used to be the original kind of fashion item. You know, you've got kind of Fiat 500s now and all these Citroens that you can have different colour roof and fan surrounds and grills and so on, all different, and there's thousands and thousands of combinations. But back then everybody wanted a Golf, even to the extent that you didn't have a Golf in stock very long. And one day I got a telephone call from a production company. Now I think it was BBC, and it was for Only Fools and Horses, and they needed a car for Cassandra for the Christmas special of Only Fools and Horses, and she drove a red Golf, and they couldn't get one anywhere because we were in Chorley, so you can imagine. I'm assuming that the thing was filmed in London, and all she did was come out of a restaurant, jump in this Golf and drive off, and it was probably about 10 seconds, and they had the car for about 3 weeks. Now also that was back when BBC were, you know, they had proper news reporters and people that didn't force their opinions down your throat like I'm doing now. If the BBC came on me today to ask to borrow a car, not a chance. I even begrudge paying the licence fee. So, dear. Anyway, traffic's moving now. Remember August the 1st, 1991, when I worked at Volkswagen, I had 45 cars going out for the new registration, and the week before I'd gone through meticulously and arranged appointments and deliveries every half hour, and they all turned up at once. Basically everybody was waiting at 9 o'clock in the morning. It was bedlam. One more thing, really. Those who watch my videos regularly we're very, very busy at the moment. Cars are coming and going as fast as we can get hold of them. But what we're trying to do at the moment, rather than all right, we'll wait for him to finish his telephone conversation. Yeah, so rather than valet them and then photograph and video them, what I'm trying to do at the moment is video them when they come in. So you actually see the car as it's come in. And the reason for that is that with this COVID-19, Lance sprays them all with some hydrogen peroxide mixture that they use in hospital, and it's so expensive. I think it's about 180 quid for 5 litres. So what we're doing, but you know, obviously I'm putting my life at risk to show you these cars with all hand sanitizer and stuff and wiping the steering down and everything. But then when I finish videoing them, Lance will clean them, and then they'll go on the forecourt, and that's where they'll stay without anybody getting in and out of them until you buy them, until you buy the vehicle. And then you're going to get into a car which has been sanitized. If for instance somebody does come and look at it, then we will go over it again, but it's now doing this job properly as we try to. It's getting quite expensive. You know, if somebody comes to have a look at a car, we can do this click and collect business, but it just seems at the moment that people really couldn't care less about the safety, and we've actually gone back a step, and people are just turning up on the forecourt, which they've not done for, you know, they've always made appointments to tell us they're coming, which is only sensible. Cars can sell. We sell more cars with live chat at night than we do during the day. I basically waste my time during the day and just video cars, because I never speak to anybody, and I get home at night and that's when it gets busy. So you really need to ring us before you come and see the vehicle, and it, you know, it's for your own safety. As we're coming out of lockdown, we're still trying to do it properly, and I may be being a little bit selfish. At this moment in time, my holiday to Sorrento on the 24th of July has not been cancelled yet. And I don't want to catch anything before I go away. So we're trying to keep us safe and you safe. So work with us. Give us a call first if you want to buy it, and we'll make sure the car is sanitized before you come and see it. We had two guys come yesterday, one from London, one from Bristol. Both the cars were sanitized. We have a machine that sanitizes the keys as well. We've got masks and gloves. I don't think there's any more we can do, but you need to work with us, and I suggest that if other garages aren't looking after your safety like we're trying to do, then you shouldn't deal with them. As I was saying about the service books before and the check-in, if people employ service advisors that can't put a stamp in the right book, can't get the dates right, can't get the mileages right, they don't deserve your business. They shouldn't be in business. It's very important. I've always checked the service department when I've been in charge anyway. Thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds must be wiped off the value of used cars daily by service advisors who are on Facebook with one hand and stamped somewhere in the region of your service book. And you know, the motor trade is a multi-billion pound industry, and we should only employ professionals, not people who are in between jobs and don't care what they're doing. And the price of servicing these days, blimey, you should get a gold certificate, let alone just a rubber stamp. Right, I told you when I started off, this is a fantastic car. It's beautiful on a day like this. It's mint inside and outside. It hasn't been cleaned yet, so it will look like brand new when Lance has finished with it. And you will get a lot of pleasure out of it if you buy it. It drives great, it's economical, it's the right colour combination. Unfortunately, it has got stop-start, but you can knock it off there. And Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth audio streaming, multi-spoke alloys, blue electric hood, which, as I say, I can't put up because it'll knock my cameras off the windows. In fact, we've got a red light here at the traffic light. So what I'm going to do, put the handbrake off, take my cameras off, and then I didn't need to do that, the windows didn't go down. What a swine. So there you go. One of the other things is when you put the hood down, it thinks, you know, you're wasting fuel by having air conditioning with the and you're putting the hood down. So it knocks the aircon off, but you can knock it back on again if it's a really hot day like it's just been. Hopefully you would have been able to hear the sound, or perhaps not. Gordon Bennett. Yeah, I think the lights are off here, and everybody's risking it. The chap at the front there was quite prepared to wait forever, but I'm afraid life's too short.